Am I the idiot for refusing to make dinner for my husband and brother-in-law unless the dishes are washed? I, female 29, and husband, male 28, recently allowed his brother, male 27, to move in with us. We all work full-time in the same hours MF with an occasional Saturday. I'm self-employed, so I'm able to make my hours flexible if needed, which I do on Tuesdays to do my husband's and as laundry early in the morning before I go to work, and Wednesdays to do our towels and his brother's laundry. We do not own a washer and dryer at home, so I take our laundry to do elsewhere on those days, which I honestly do not mind at all. Note that his brother is paying $100 per week, and I told him that would include me doing his laundry weekly. I do all the stopping at grocery stores on my own before picking them up from work, which also cuts into my work days. We currently only have one vehicle and his brother's car is down, so I'm the main transportation for everyone. At home, I clean up after our dog any bathroom messes he's made during the day while we're away and fix his food. I also ensure all the common spaces are neat and tidy. When I cook dinner, I am the only one who cooks. I want the sink to be empty. When I do cook, I ensure that the kitchen is properly cleaned after, and I make sure all the pots, pans, utensils, and plates, bowls are rinsed with no residue left behind for easy cleaning for the next person. I've recently started getting complaints that 1. They're tired of doing the dishes all the time, and 2. I complain too much. Biggest complaints from me are wanting the dishes done and the clothes to be placed properly into the hamper. I feel like I put a lot of effort into everything I contribute to the home. The only tasks I ask from them is for clothes to be picked up off the floor and then put away immediately once they're cleaned, and then for dishes to be done before I make dinners. I will quickly note that we'll usually choose one day on the weekend that we all pick a room to tackle to deep clean. But outside of that particular day, the load of the house is left to me. I told them both yesterday that I will no longer complain about dishes being done or not. I will continue to lay something out for dinner, but if the dishes are not completed, I won't be cooking. They also know which days I do laundry, and if things aren't properly placed in the hamper when I'm ready to leave for laundry, those items won't be washed until the following week. I've been told this is a harsh approach. However, as I stated before, I feel as though I contribute a lot to our household, and I don't feel like I'm asking much for these tasks to be completed by them. They're tired of hearing me complain about things not being done, and I'm tired of having to complain about these things not being done. However, maybe this is a harsh approach and makes me an idiot. Should I just start doing the dishes myself and ensuring everything is properly placed in the hamper for wash days to keep the home running smoothly? You're an idiot. To yourself. You work and you do the majority of the housework. I'm surprised you didn't add dirty dishes equals no food, which seems like a very basic rule. Also, there is no reason for you to drive them around. There are Ubers, public transportation, and I assume both mama's boys have a full set of legs too. Walking is good for your health. A harsh approach would be to kick them both out. What you are doing is just expecting them to be minimally functional adults. Update. As awful as it sounds, I truly believed I was going to be the in the situation when I posted it, yet it wasn't the response I received at all. For that, I want to thank everyone who took their time to reply to my post. You've helped in opening my eyes to the boundaries I needed to create in my life going forward. The day I posted it, I decided to put my foot down with not cooking dinner unless the dishes were done and not washing laundry that wasn't properly placed in the hamper on laundry day, and I stuck with it. To my surprise, things began running smoothly. Though things were seemingly running smoothly again, my husband and I were beginning to miss our own privacy and space. My husband and brother-in-law were beginning to not get along, and we realized he was doing nothing to save money to move when his living with us was supposed to be very temporary. So we decided we were going to give him a date to move out by. The day we were going to give him the date, I woke up to a status my brother-in-law had posted on Facebook stating that the last 3 months had been filled with depression and starvation, and it had caused him to lose a great amount of weight, which I was extremely taken aback by and honestly hurt. I have spent a lot of time making new and elaborate recipes. My husband and I still cannot figure out what prompted him to post it in the first place. So, I not only confronted him about it by commenting on his post, but in person as well. I asked him, "So you're starving?" Where he looked me straight in my face and said, "Yes." I honestly couldn't have been more dumbfounded. There were a lot of words exchanged, mostly by me, and my husband told him it was best to keep his mouth shut. I suppose now would be a good time to note that my brother-in-law is known for his pathological lying, though I'm unsure how anyone can lie to someone who's literally been cooking their meals on almost a nightly basis. When I dropped them off at work that morning, my husband told him he had a week to move out, but my brother-in-law ultimately decided to move out that night when they returned home from work. I was honestly hopeful to give a 100% perfect and peaceful update, though I suppose in hindsight, it is. We now have our home, privacy, and peace of mind back. Our home is running more smoothly than ever, and my husband and I can continue on our path of a happily ever after. Not an idiot. So an adult who is perfectly capable of going to the grocery store or fixing himself something to eat has the audacity to claim to be starving while someone else cooks for him. Wow, so glad you got rid of him. Not an idiot. I hope your husband participates more in the upkeep of your marital home than he was when you first posted. It sounded like you were the mother of a young child, not the wife of an adult man. Should she have kicked out this bill sooner? Let me know in the comments. Now, am I the idiot for not using my inheritance money to help my brother and his family out? Background: me, female 19, and my brother, male 32, became orphans 10 years ago due to an accident our parents were in. My parents had always been a bit paranoid when it came to their mortality, so they had a set plan in case they passed. They left a significant amount of money for each of us, and our childhood home was meant to be mine. They specified that we would have access to our share of the will when we turn 18. Since my brother was already old enough, he took his money and cut all contact with me. I had lived with my grandparents ever since, but last year I finally got my share. I decided to move into the house and use the money to pay for my studies. I am in my first year of medicine and it is very expensive. I have estimated that when I finish medicine in 5 years, I will have a lot of money left to continue with what I want to specialize in, and have some left. My grandparents know my plan and offered to help with my living expenses so my inheritance becomes exclusive for my studies until I finish. I accepted and we have been like this for a year. Now to the issue. My brother and his wife have 3 children from ages 9, 7, and 4. My brother spent his inheritance money on a house, his wedding, cars, and expensive stuff that one doesn't really need to live. My sister-in-law is a stay-at-home mom, so he was the breadwinner. My brother recently lost his job, so now their family is struggling and they need a place to stay. He contacted me and asked for us to meet up. When I arrived, he and his wife were already sitting down in the restaurant. Long story short, they said that since they were going through hard times, they expected me to hand them over my house and give them a share of my inheritance so they can get back on their feet. I got pissed off since we have barely talked or visited each other since the accident, and they were just demanding that I pay for them. I told them that I wouldn't because I already have a plan for the money and I was living in the house. They said I can move back with my grandparents and blew off at me for being selfish. After arguing, I decided to leave, but now my cousins are saying I'm an inconsiderate aunt and I should help the family out. I really need to know if I'm in the wrong. Am I an idiot? I would like to add that the main reason I'm questioning my decision is because there are children involved, his kids, and I don't want to hurt them. Update. A lot has happened since my post, so I'll be updating here. I first told my grandparents everything that happened and they are supporting me. I told the cousins that were sending me messages to help my brother themselves and they got angrier, so I blocked them. I then invited my brother and his wife to eat and offered to let them rent 3 rooms in my house. They asked if it was free and I said no, but it would not be expensive. They kept insisting on me handing over my property, so I decided to leave. I had a conversation with my brother and turns out you were right. He doesn't want a relationship with me. To be honest, I am completely heartbroken and angry because I thought things would change. After that conversation, I decided this time I would be the one cutting contact, and my grandparents did too. Not an idiot. You know what? This may be a blessing in disguise since he has left no question about his nature and made it very easy to see that he has nothing good to add to your life. Not an idiot. Good luck with everything. It hurts to be treated this way by someone that should be close, but it's better to know than be taken advantage of. Maybe share that information, that he doesn't want a relationship with you, with the cousins and see if that changes their mind. Maybe they'd do huge favors for someone that treats them like garbage. I'm just thinking that's not the case. Should he have given them some money? Let me know in the comments. Now, am I the idiot for not wanting my parents to be involved in my ex's new family? I was previously married for about 8 years. While we were married, my parents seemed to never like my spouse, and more than once I had to ask them to stop saying unkind things to her. They kept pushing us to have kids, but we never did. Eventually, we had some marital issues, and to be clear, I am not blaming her for these issues. It was both of us, and we're on a trial separation while in counseling, and at the time the agreement was that we were not seeing other people. However, suddenly my spouse was pregnant, and it was not possible that it was mine, as the last time we had sex was 2 months prior to her conception date. That was the end of the marriage, and I filed for divorce 2 days after I found out. My parents, knowing fully that this was not my child and that the conception was my spouse cheating on me, however, then chose to support my ex through her pregnancy. They chose to play grandparent to my ex's kid. When I told them it was an issue for me that they were so involved in her life, their solution was to lie, poorly, and now just not talk about it. I found out secondhand that not only did they go to her wedding, to the guy she cheated with, but that my father gave her away at that wedding. They now also play grandparent to her 2 additional kids with the new hubby. They go on vacations with her and her family. This has been going on for 10 years, and I feel like I lost my parents in my divorce. My parents have said that they feel like I am being ridiculous and that it's their Christian duty to look out for my child, which they say is mine because we were married when she got pregnant. Even if I feel like abandoning the kid is okay. They blame me for the family never being able to be together since I won't attend family events that she's going to, which more and more is all of them. Everyone in my family has pretty much treated me as persona non grata for abandoning the family. Am I the idiot here? Am I the one destroying the family? Should I just play uncle to my ex's kids that I want nothing to do with? Not an idiot. This is disgusting. Remind them that she broke the marriage covenant, but also a commandment. Time to write the whole lot of them off. Which has both sucked and been healthier for me. I don't even know what they are doing for Christmas this year, which is actually easier than knowing they are doing something and choosing to exclude me. 2. I did print out some of the posts from last year and showed them to my therapist as suggested. He berated me for listening to people on the internet and cutting off a vital part of my support system. After 2 months of weekly appointments listening to him talk about ways to fix the relationship and apologize to my family and make amends with them, I just stopped making appointments with him. That was in March. 3. After stopping contact with my family and therapist, I found I had a really hard time. Super anxious and second-guessing every interaction, even being around my friends, so I've kinda stopped seeing them either. I had good work from home, so I just started working all the time. It was good for my career and I got a major promotion in Q3. It was a large enough promo that I don't stress about money anymore, which was constantly stressed before. So spending my energy somewhere other than on my family has been life-changing. Not an idiot. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. Super proud for choosing to put yourself first. Your family are really a bunch of narcissistic assholes. Second, WTH is wrong with your therapist. That is some first-grade bullshit that she has been telling you. A good therapist should and would never tell you to apologize. God, some people need their license revoked. She should have recommended going no contact a long time ago. I can only applaud you for not going to them anymore. But please find a new and good therapist or a support group to help you. Try talking to your friends, but only if they support you going no contact with family and therapist. That should be a good indicator if they are good friends. Good friends will support you no matter what. Please take care of yourself. You are worth it. And to hell with your parents and family for putting you through this. Even your ex. She should be ashamed of herself. Again, please take care of yourself. Hope the new year will bring you joy, strength, and happiness.